move into the latter stages of the Para Ice Hockey Tournament, looking high above Gangneung Hockey Centre. And this inside is the 5th to 8th place classification game. Czech Republic and Sweden in this one. The Czechs with 1 victory, the 2 losses, as you can see, and for Sweden, well, they've been yet to get a victory in these games in PyeongChang, and it will be the Czechs with the white uniforms and the red and blue trim. You see the red socks as well, that'll make their way out onto the ice first. And this, a real battle as we get into these latter stages of the Para Ice Hockey Tournament. And the reason being is the victor of this particular match will go through and contest for 5th place as the highest that they can finish. Sweden will make their way on. They in their signature blue with gold trim. And so the loser of this particular match will have the possibility of being relegated. They will go to the final match, which will be for 7th and 8th position. And the 8th position at the Paralympic Games will in fact be relegated out of Pool A and have to make that long journey back, if they're able to get back into Pool A competition at Paralympic level. So it's always a slippery slope in these games. And in a one-off, you want to make sure you take care of business in this one so that you're safe in that 5th, 6th game. Lutke will be the referee from Norway. Bergenbaum and Hahn from Canada and Korea are on the lines for this matchup.
On defense number 6, Ulf Nilsson. At forward number 8,
Yuri Brisa,
Per Kasperi.
the 14-2-year-old coach, and you see him very demonstrative and of course always very clear with his players. He's supportive, he's positive, but he's also very intense, and he'll need his side to be focused here today. They've had some real flickers, have the Czechs, in this tournament. They really pushed the Koreans earlier. Kudela and Vapenka are both worthy options in goal, but expect Vapenka will be the goalkeeper of choice for the Czechs today. Vikstrom, you see him look across. He knows right now that this is an almighty handful for him in his first duty in charge of this Paralympic program for Sweden. Ulf Nilsson is the ultra-dependable 53-year-old in goal, number 5. He might need a goal from a Per Kasperi, who is a player up front, number 8 to them. They look far and wide for offense to the Swedes. 88.89, pretty good numbers, and a 2.0 goals against average for Vapenka, the 44-year-old, and Ulf Nilsson, as we see, 77.19 and 6.98 are the goals against average, and he does well with what he's given. He's on a team that gives up a lot of shots, and he has to be sharp. He's used to facing a lot of them. As we look at the Czechs in their record, Republic of Korea they take on, they lose that one in extra time. Then you see the other subsequent 2 results. Sweden losses to Canada, Italy, and Norway, leaves them in this position. But a win here guarantees that you stay safe, and that's really what both of these teams are vying for. Doshal, lots of minutes on the ice for the Czechs. Kubish as well. As we look at his numbers, Pavel Kubish, 2 goals, 2 assists in this tournament. He and Mikhail Geyer, along with Shafranik, the other goal scorer. Gillinston is the 1 goal scorer there. You see it's just a lone goal for Sweden. There's a look at Kubish. Those are good numbers at this level with 3 games played, the 4-point return. The countdown is on. It's Sweden and the Czech Republic inside the Gangneung Hockey Centre. The PyeongChang2018 Paralympic Games. The Para Ice Hockey Tournament gets into the sharp end. Underway, Sweden in blue with the gold trim from right to left will take the opening possession. The Czechs with the white and red, as you can see. It'll be Sweden. This is a well-matched lineup for both of these teams. Czechs marginally favored in this one. It comes down to performance on the day. You see that offense for Sweden is a challenge at this world-class level, as it will in fact be Intermission and go back to collective here. Intermission with Paralympic duties and even medals so far back with this program. He has been around since the beginning. This is a sport that came in 1994 in Lillehammer. In these games here, now a chance for Sweden to try to break into an open area. PyeongChang will get it. That looks, it was Per Kasperi trying to get to it. Kasperi didn't play the first matchup for Sweden. And he's a 24-year-old forward who often, if Sweden are going to get some offense, he's generally involved. As he tries to break through, you see that he becomes a little bit of a Kasperi sandwich there as two Czechs munch him together and leave him fallen in the puck through to PyeongChang for this face-off. The rotation, the referees, the linesmen, so stringent in particular about these lineup positions. It is the visiting team that must place their stick down first, followed by the home side. Here comes Sweden! Oh, but PyeongChang, I think if that's on, he might have been beaten. As a backside play, Ingerson quickly with a swat at that with the left hand. Tests the Czechs early. A corralling of the puck from Sweden. We're just let it ride through. And Rakos across here, broken up by the Czechs. And it's a little bit loose and Larry at their own blue line. And there's again, big collisions so far. Shabranek comes up with the puck though. And trying to draw this Swedish defense out. They're a little bit like moth to a flame right now. That puck, a magnet. And their eyeballs are made of steel. Is this a shot from the outside? It just goes off the goal frame. Pretty comfortable from there. This one will just get away, and it will in fact go for icing. As you see the Agitas Paralympic Games logo there. So here's Sweden. A very proud hockey nation are the Scandinavians. This is shot, and we look at it again as Ingvarsson. And maybe I was a little harsh with PyeongChang there. He had that covered, even if he was able to get that inside the left post. PyeongChang is a pretty big body. He comes across and closes down the angle with pretty good precision there. Klima will take this one. That's Hedberg. 15 for Sweden. Here comes Per Kasperi down the left side. As he run out of an angle? He's lost the puck for a moment, and he's got two Czechs on him. And they, dare I say it, just gave him the Czech mate, taking it right away from him. Just when he thought he had the crucial move in his arsenal, there were two Czech players squeezing him out like an orange at breakfast. And this is going to be an interference penalty. And it's going to go against Sweden. As we're seeing their lone goal scorer, Gilston, who will come across here. And this is the play. Comes and takes out Dolashal. And that's a pretty clear call. As moving parts, ships in the night, except the ship just caught a piece of that iceberg and took out the Czech player. And that'll leave a power play now for the Czech Republicans, who will just rotate here inside this blue line. They do well, hold it as they did there. And to make sure that they got a little bit of a taller look at it from inside the blue line. A better vantage point generally. You can just kind of set the table up from the top by the blue line offensively. You can look both the width and the depth of the offensive zone and your players that are available to you somewhere in a 5-on-4 power play, a 2-on-1, where you're basically just trying to, in a small space, outmaneuver one defender to open up a legitimate goal-scoring opportunity for the shooter. As this now, Habel gets handcuffed. Sweden, that'll just stay out, but they'll just bump it forward. It makes its way back to the Czechs. The service is incomplete as that goes for icing. 56 seconds remains on this Czech power play. And Breeze, well, he can't do anything about it because it's an icing against his side. The 5 that are on will have to compete for possession from within their own defensive zone. Edberg has been pretty effective so far, clogging up these face-offs after he's contested for it. You can see different sleds. They basically are the same sled function. Some are longer than others for obvious reasons, as the athletes have legs, or if they're an amputee, particularly a double amputee, then they don't require the front portion of the sled. That does increase their mobility, increases their ability also to turn as well. As here comes Czechs. What a play that is. Pretty clever shot coming, but in the end it's rather tame as it arrives, and a shot in on Nilsson, his first one to deal with of the hockey game. It's a good spot here. It looked like for a moment maybe the offload was going to come to the backside. That would have been a little too cute though, as Matichka takes the shot, and it's invariably the case. If you've got an opportunity to shoot it, take it. Regardless if it's an A-grade shot or not. The amount of times we've seen pucks go in from shots that maybe were not by design. Now they're well into 25% of the time of goals scored, really, as far as the type of goal you see in this sport. This is a little bit of trickery there. Trying to go off the short side. This causes a little bit of confusion. Bang, offloads back down again. Comes up with the puck. And through this neutral zone, it's rather deliberate, but with good intention as the Czechs come up with it. Beachka back to the blue line. And this in front, broken down well by the Swedes. And this is about the right level for both of these nations. They can compete right in the middle of this pace and potency. As coming back will be Rakos. And he's got a little bit of a rough ride into the corner board. And the north face side there sees his face pressed right up against it momentarily. As this now is a chance for Sweden. Coming back to the Czechs, but it's a breakaway here. They should get a good shot off. They do. What a goal! As off and running, Ingvarsson is a cool hand Luke when they need it most. And Sweden have just doubled their scoring output in the tournament. Oh, it looked like he was alone over there, but the angle was so far away, you wondered whether they might run out of time. But look at Ingvarsson. Way! He goes up and over. And Vapenka gets the rough arrival as well, as he's coming in hot. Well, how about that? He's as deep in quality and pedigree is Nicholas Ingvarsson, as this Swedish program has. And where are you going to go to when you need it most? You're going to go to a steady pair of hands. He showed you there. We haven't seen a lot from Ingvarsson as far as going forward. 39 years young. And you see that in this sport, there are a lot of players that are older than that, but he does come forward sometimes. They'll apply him in maybe offensive zone situations where he could be an extra bit of offensive thrust, but that was really him all the way from the red line in. Geyer, he's an offensive antidote for the Czech Republic for that opening goal. Really from his own blue line. And he was by himself, other than the angled return of the Czech player just squeezing down. But by then, Ingersson in established position. Kubish was chasing his shadow. And Ingersson, full focus on that puck, made sure that he got the elevation. And Vapenka's got to respect that he's also going to receive the crash from Ingersson after the shot. Well, there's two elements for the Czech keeper to be considering there. The shot and then the afters. The puck dropped. Gilston is the other goal scorer for Sweden. He had the penalty that they were able to successfully kill. And boy, did they make a bunch of that. It's an even strength goal officially. So just after the kill. It's a loose play really good. Oh, another loose play. Here comes Sweden. They've got time again. Per Kasperi slams it home. And they are doubly delighted, are the Swedes. As you see the instructions coming in there. Oh, this is working out well for them now. As up on their feet in delight, they have finally offensively arrived in this tournament. As how about this? Back-to-back goals, a loose play by the Czechs. Per Kasperi, he will slam it home and makes it look like he's been doing it all tournament. That's his first. Two unassisted goals, and you wouldn't say they've been gift-wrapped by the Czechs to the Swedes, but they certainly have been presented these opportunities that Sweden have taken full advantage of. And this is an almighty mountain to overcome now for the Czech Republic. They have created a little bit of traffic. They do have goal scoring. They have threats. 3 different scorers. And both, as we have seen with Geyer and Kubish, with double goals. So they have the ability, there's a good shot, to just amp it up a level. As this now is Geyer, and he cooks one in. And right on top of it is Kubish looking for anything left over. Ulf Nilsson, though, pretty stingy, as he's pretty decent in fairness at controlling the puck on the first shot. Doesn't generally leave a lot left over. The Gangneung Hockey Centre in the heart of the Olympic Park in Gangneung, the coastal town on the eastern edge of the Republic of Korea. These have been the host. Oh, and it's a penalty now for Sweden. Ingersson just a little too robust there for the referee from Norway's liking. And he says, what do you mean? I just was holding him back a moment so that I could get position. He says precisely. That's 2 minutes. So is this the opening the Czechs need in order to get going? Body weight and strength there to the advantage of Ingersson. Probably that left lead arm across in front of him as well was pretty defining on that play, as it will in fact be Sweden now having to, for the first time in this game, kill a penalty. So 5 players coming back for the Czechs. They come up in pretty good song here, but maybe they need to just tune their vocal cords a little bit more. They haven't quite hit the right note yet coming out of their own zone. There's a couple, and look there. Short-handed, and Sweden are testing Vapenka again. And he says life's a beach. He's got the puck in hand as he grabs a little moment of calm in what has been a flurry of activity, in fairness, against the Czech in this opening period. The second goal scorer, Kasperi, battles for that one. And a shot comes in. Peter Nilsson. Missed now. Sweden going back. Home goes into a funny space there. Pretty much takes it from Innocent. Oh, that's what happens as the Czechs have answered back. And Kropička says, thank you. Whoa, that's a celebration and a half as he does a full frontal. And yep, when you come across in front of your own goal and taunt the opposition, this is what happens. He comes out of a dark alley and comes up smelling a rose as Kropička muscles it and then fires up and over the glove hand, and you betcha that means everything to the Czechs. What's with the goals today? They're all of them unassisted. As Zdeněk Kropička at 8:59 has a power play goal for the Czechs, and he has cut this lead in half with that perfectly created shot. And the execution was, that's about as good an individual play as you're going to get for Kropička in that situation. Yes, they're in a power play. He's dealing with 3 Swedes at the time. He goes and gets the puck off of them, then gets away from them, and then finds a way in which to carve it past Nilsson like it's nobody's business. And right now, it's the Czechs' business, as they are 5-on-5 looking for a second goal if they can. A touch of it here has got Sweden a little bit twisted and pulled here right now, as the Czechs just raise the volume. And right there, hard into the boards. Nikus Rakos just gets rudely intruded upon by the Czech player. And that will, in fact, get away from Sweden. We are back to 5-on-5 action, and that was, of course, an icing. Edberg has been strong on the draws, but Palat, in fairness, helps as well. Holm gets stripped, and then 3 Swedes. How many Swedes does it take to defend Kropička? Apparently more than the 4 that he just navigated there. 3 outskaters, and then the 1 Nilsson. Those are not good odds for Sweden, if that's how many it's going to take today. A chance for another shot, and right now, Palat is not thinking that first look is quite to his palate. And here comes Erie Rawl. Out front, and Kropička. He's the 6-gun shooter right now for the Czech Republic. The hot hand. The smoking gun. Get that man the puck already. At 4 minutes, it'll be Rawl to take it, and this right now has become an almighty Czech show. Oh, the hitch and hold, and the carry, and the offload, and the pass, and that almost was too good to be true. As in the end it was. This coming across. It's the Czechs back with the transition game right now. The support of the puck. Ingerson picks up the loose change. He puts it in the piggy bank, and here comes Sweden. A little bit of trickery there. You see what Bank thinks about that. He says, I'm just going to play the body. Do what you like with the puck. But it's not going any further. Houston is on the play. He makes the body check. This now up for Safranek, the offload. The Czechs to the backside. And unfortunately, they'd already gone past David Botichka. And past his expiration date. He was looking for a pass earlier. Here's Per Kasperi. Oh no, here comes Sweden. Oh, that's a beauty. That's a little bit like the, well, I don't know what they call it in football, but they'll do that running over the ball and stop it. Whatever you call it, that's what he was doing in hockey. There's across, a shot here. He picked up. And you've got the Swedes right now pretty much at 6s and 7s defensively. And I think they are spinning more times than a roulette wheel, just trying to turn and face wherever the next attack might come from. 2 minutes remain in this opening first period. It looks like something you might see in the opening ceremonies with all of that movement, rotation, in alignment, in symmetry together. The way the Swedes are just turning and in control, trying to just measure up against the Czechs. That's a pretty good shot. It doesn't get through though, as the Swedes do enough just to mute that down. They control the volume, but now the Czechs, they've got the remote control, and they've turned the volume back up again. They might just change the channel here too. Sweden are going to send it long, and they've just got it in their hand right now, the Czechs, with 1:12 remaining in this opening period. They've got an offensive zone face-off, and they've got a tired 5-pack of Swedes that have to now compete for this puck. There's a sprawling effort made. There you see the desperation and great defense from Sweden. Nilsson out with the pad save. So this is a pressing moment here for Sweden, as they are looking for a little bit of oxygen. They're going to have to work hard again in this defensive zone. They can't go anywhere, can't get a line change. They can't leave the Czechs unattended in this last minute. This is a vulnerable point right now for Sweden. As a leveling goal here from the Czechs, that would be sensational. A shot in the body. Gilston, that's a great defensive play. Make no mistake of that play right there, because if it gets through, it's a different situation right now in front of Sweden's goal. Instead, the Czechs are having to regroup in their own zone. The offload, again, some of the passing and decision-making from the Czechs. And not certain that Penka has been a fan of it, but he'll make the save and settle it down and hand it off to the linesman. Intermission with the first goal. And there you see Kasperi getting another shot in on net. And he isn't requiring an invitation. And even if he had received an invitation, he has not RSVP'd it. He's just taking what's in front of him and taking advantage of it. These the final seconds in this opening 15 minutes. It's gonna just squeeze out, it looks like, this first frame. Is there anything to come out of this corner? There won't be. As both teams certainly leave it all out there in the opening 15 minutes. 2 unassisted goals by Sweden, even strength. They took full advantage of them, and really effectively their breakaways. And then an unassisted power play goal for the Czechs from Zdeněk Krpička puts them on the board, and they needed that desperately, because at 2-0, Sweden, the longer they held that lead, the more commanding they become in that position. It's Czech Republic 1, Sweden 2. This is the 5th to 8th place classification game. And we're now moving into the first intermission. We'll join you for the second period coming up in just a moment. Sweden 2, Czech Republic 1 in the first intermission of play in the men's and women's para ice hockey tournament from PyeongChang. 5 shots apiece in that opening period. It's the 1 conversion on the power play for the Czech Republic, but it's the 2 breakaway goals unassisted from Sweden that have them in front by the 1 goal. As we look at the tallies there, the return from the output as far as the shots, and Sweden were in good position. It starts from Intermission, who is able just to pick the puck up from his own blue line, and just some broken plays really. Face-offs dead level, 4 minutes extra for Sweden, actually in penalties. And then you see the rest of the numbers there in the opening 15 minutes. Some shots from the outside that don't get through, and this one just broken up, and Intermission goes all the rest of the way. Starts things off here, and it's an extraordinary finish. And so that really just came from a broken play from the Czechs taking a shot. It gets blocked, and Intermission from his own blue line is really, it looked like, was he gonna get there? Was he just gonna, at the last second, have the shot opportunity taken away? And he goes right into the teeth of the Czech defense by going back to the left hand. The left hand is his preferred hand. I thought he might have stayed with the right, but that's an extraordinary moment there. And you see what it means to Sweden, who have only scored 1 goal prior to that. And they just double their tally in 1 play. And then the turnover here, it's just too loose from the Czechs. And Kasperi just slots it in, and I think he almost had to just double check to see, did he get that under the arm of Vapenka, or had it actually been saved because it was so well taken? And by the time he had a second look at it, the puck had come back out again. It was sitting behind Vapenka, and he just wanted to make sure. And how about that? It's a moment of delight for Erik Wikström, the Swedish coach. And then Kaprichka, this is on the power play, and Sweden come across in front of their own goal here. Holm probably a play that he'd like to have back. And look at what happens. Kaprichka just comes right in and takes it away and makes it count. And Brise, he knows how important it is. It's not do or die this game as far as keeping yourself up in Pool A, but if you win it, it means you're in that 5th-6th game, in the last game of the PyeongChang Paralympic Games for both of these sides. They will play another one after this one. It's just for what number, the placement that they will be completing this tournament in. That's the question. And you want to stay away naturally from that 8th position, because that's the slippery slope of having to re-qualify back to Pool A per ice hockey. Great defensive play from Gilston in that period. And he was able just to get in front of the puck at a time. And he just made sure that he was sacrificing himself defensively, and that it wasn't about whether or not he could get anything from it, the 24-year-old. He just put his big body in the way and allowed that to do the work. And it just allowed the puck to move down the course of the ice, because the Czechs at the latter stage of that first period were really starting to push on. They'd scored 1 goal, and it looked like they were asking about the prospects of a second before the end of the opening 15 minutes. The second period awaits in the classification game. It's the 5th-8th place matchup at the Gangneung Hockey Centre, as again, this place pushes the volume up in readiness for the drop of the puck at the second period. We're underway. It's the Czech Republic from right to left in the white and red. Sweden is predominantly all blue here, with a little bit of gold trim. The puck to start. We're 5-on-5 in this second period. And as you see, Sweden with that goal advantage. Pretty good offensive return for one period's work for both of these sides. Remember, they've played 3 games so far, and prior to that, Sweden did score 1 goal. Czech Republic had scored 5. That's over 9 periods, and in 1 period, they've pretty much just changed the whole outlook. The end of the corner and driving hard, just losing a little bit of control there. And it's just turned over a little bit soft. That's what we see sometimes, just with some of the clearing attempts. As Kasperi waits for it, and the pass up here. The idea, a good one. Again, there's a shot. Is Intermission, and oh, he scores! Intermission is a man with a plan right now, and the plan, he's executing it to perfection. As from a long range, he sends in the left-handed side winding delivery into the top of the circle, and look at that. It's as sharp as a knife inside that right post. And that is a goal that you want to put on the highlight reel for sure. Oh, that's something special from Intermission. He's capable of it. We haven't seen a lot of it in this tournament, but he is having the game of these PyeongChang games for sure for himself. Here he goes again. And it's an unassisted goal again. Apparently, there was a memo that went out prior to the game that you got to do it all yourself today. As every goal so far has been unassisted. Look at Holm here. And a backhand. No, he's gone to the forehand. Just, and I'm not sure if it is a penalty. But it doesn't matter what I think. The referee does. Let's see what he calls. Whether there's interference or teeing here. And he's going to call it a holding. So, suggesting that they use the sled just to impede the Swedish attempt. So Rakos, and maybe they're Raw with a little bit of a push. I guess because he's in such a prime position there, that push has got to be assessed. And that will now just lead to this opening bit of control. It'll be Intermission to head back. And then again, it's deliberate, but it's steady. And that is a smart play, actually. You give yourself up and you almost allow the channel with this for Geyer. Geyer can score. Maybe not from over there, but he gets it out in front. It's still behind Nilsson. And he didn't know it was there. And even if he did, I'm not sure that he responded as quickly as the urgency of the situation really required. As Geyer elects to just throw it to the front of the net. And it almost gets through Nilsson. Well, it did. It almost got across the line as well. So kind of gingerly goes back and collects this like he's picking up a flower. You need to be careful. That thing will lilt right in your hand in a hurry if a Czech stick gets to it. As for Sweden across this line. Remember, they have the power play. So a shorthanded marker potentially on the cards a moment ago from the Czech Republic. We're at the halfway point. Sweden now with a plan here maybe. And they come up with a little creation of a shot, an angle. The Czechs are going to have to hold firm. They can ill afford anything more against their goalkeeper, Papenka. And Papenka's got to wonder what's hit him here. I mean, all 3 of the goals are well taken, there's no doubt of it, but he's a keeper that at times can be the difference. Can be absolutely world class. But what you find is that with some of the nations here that receive more shots against than others, it isn't always necessarily the amount of shots, it's the quality of the shots that they're facing. And he's faced legitimately 3 great shots on the goals that were scored by Sweden today. Sweden here just trying to get through. That is Per Kasperi again, just trying to come up with it. He's still got it. They're locked in each other's sleds there. And then just separating the man from the puck coming back. That is Geyer. Geyer will come up with his puck though. Be careful. All right, taking him out though too. He's got speed and he likes to play a straight line game, this Geyer. If you let him go, he'll hurt you. Sweden just throw a blanket over proceedings here for a moment as everything just kind of calms down. Nilsson just gets the stick up against Rahl, but he's handed it back. Rahl might come up with this one here. He's drawing a penalty against Nilsson. And this has worked out okay as it's 5-on-5 and the touch of the puck to Sweden. This is a chance for the Czech Republic to go back on the power play. So again, holding the opponent is the call from the Norwegian Louis Lutke. And Ingersson now goes to the box. He's scored the 2 goals, but that's clearly a penalty. He's put his stick right in the spokes of Rahl's machine there. And this is really a place where the Czechs need to make hay, because as games go on, here's another penalty. And this is not at all what the Czech Republic needed, as it's going to be David Palat who goes across now, who's taken this call. And it's 4-on-4. Maybe that's not the end of the world. I'm not entirely sure. We'll see if it's teeing. He says roughing is the call, and I prefer maybe a little bit more play rather than officiating right now. Let's just get back to business. As Shifranek will just get forward here. Down the right side. The shot, that one's hard, and it's wide. And Rahl will just hold it for a moment as he does the double spin. Still rotating. And that net has just come off. And Kopichka and the Swedish player Hedberg were fronting up against each other, and Hedberg maybe utilizes the chance there to put Kopichka in like a little bit of a bowling ball into his own goal to knock the post off its moorings. So only 7 seconds difference between the 2 penalties. And it's really negligible as to whether or not there'll really be a power play advantage. It's just this 4-on-4 sequence. This is the shot again. And Papenka thinks he's got this lined up. And because obviously you have the one hand, he's starting to prepare himself for the backside, because he's going to have to make a blocker save there. It's going to be tough. He's going to bring his hand up, and he just leaves a small margin to get that shot in, and it is just right on the money from the Swede. They contest for the puck. It's won by the Czechs. This is going to work out for them. Dolashal can't come up with the final punch there of a shot even on goal. It's kind of a wasted moment, really. The Czechs, a pretty good look against Nilsson there. Needed to get a shot off. Will just make his way around. And this game has lost a little bit of fight here, as the battle of attrition. They're not trying to be pretty. This now for Sweden. Still holding, doing well and doing so. Nilsson. Oh, Nilsson gets hit from behind and drawn another penalty. As Geyer lowers the boom there. And that, for Sweden, is a significant advantage because it's 4 against 3. As it's become the Uwe Lutkut show in the second period so far, as we're 5:45 into it. And he's getting all the airtime, sending players to the penalty box. Geyer from behind, it's pretty clear there. It's a charging call officially, as he was forcing the issue to get back. And you see him just grimacing to himself. He said, I don't think I had an option, really. He's probably right. This now is an option for Sweden. What do they want to do with this advantage? Working just to get that opening. Oh, here comes the Czechs. Oh, Shafranek. Oh, he's run out of room. He waited too long. And Nilsson made himself as big as he could. And now again. Oh, it's a breakaway for Krapicka. Oh, he's denied. How about Nilsson? He's had back-to-back jacks, and both times he's come up trumps. You're not going to get that kind of sequence, I don't think, again, in this game. That doesn't happen very often. And they were basically 2 breakaways against Sweden. And the crazy bit is they're on the penalty kill now, are the Czechs. Shafranek with a good angle here, but he never really gets Nilsson to believe that he was going to come back to the left hand. And then Krapicka likewise. They know that the strong side is their right hand. And Nilsson overplayed it both times. And it was exactly the right call. Now Sweden, so clever. They are able to bend, but they didn't break. And it looked like for a second they were going to come forward with their own bit of offensive possibility there, but they will work from inside their own half. And up through the middle, across the line. They've stayed onside. A little drive through there. Didn't take everything with them. As the Czechs do finally get control of it. And with one swipe, send it down the length of the ice. That might just about do this penalty kill, as we're now to the halfway point of this hockey game. Played and dropped now on the backhand. Deep in the corner, but just not across the red line, unfortunately. It'll lead to an icing call against for Sweden. And Kasperi out here now to take on this draw. And the Czechs can get out 4 new players. Geyer's going to join them in 6 seconds. Can they just push on this tired Swedish lineup here? Ingers did a good job. He and Marcus Holm keep this puck alive. It's played out, and it's right on the goal for Vapenka to have to touch it, so no icing against. And Sweden able to make a line change of at least a couple players. So difficult to make the line changes in the second period. And that's the opportunity that they were able to get there. But that long play and the pass, or the shot really, that arrived at Vapenka. This fallen player for the Czech Republic on the ice. And just looking to see who it is. Oh, it's Krapicka. That's a heavy hit. That's a lot of body that he's run into in this Swedish player. A lot of body weight, a lot of size. And Krapicka, he's received the brunt of that one. is the goal scorer so far in this game for the Czechs. He made a remarkable play on it too. Seems to be okay. They're going to get it back upright. It may have just been winded. Saying he's okay. He's nodding to say that he is. And under his own power, he's going to make his way over to his bench, and you can see he's a little bit disheveled. Pretty sure he knows he's in Gangneung. He just maybe doesn't know exactly what time it is. .6:39 remains in this second period. And an even half dozen shots for Sweden. It's now the Czechs with 8 in total in the game so far. And they would love a little bit more return from their 8 shots. They love the return that Sweden are getting from their 6. But they're gonna have to work from their own end zone here now. They would try to test that theory, improve those odds. So around the boards it goes. Both of these teams, now that these goals have been scored as they have, it's kind of Czechs, they want to open things up, and Sweden are throwing a defensive blanket on it. But Sweden, well, they're not going to take any chances. That doesn't favor what they're looking to achieve from this hockey game. Tichka in the far corner kind of slides in safely, comes up with a puck. Well orchestrated here. Donosal has again Nilsson coming across, and he's just a big brute of a man. Generally gets right in the way of any shot intention of the Czechs, and capable of doing some work offensively as well. As Sweden have basically tripled their entire offensive output in this tournament here in this game so far. This is better too. Donosal is going to go down low. He does. A shot from Geyer. Geyer had some room there. And Nilsson, as he got to it, he has. Nilsson looks, I don't know if I'd say calm. He does look a little casual at times in goal, but the shots, they haven't got to him, as his team in front have equally done a great job defending. Tight off the post. Gubish just into a lane. And that was on. There was just a little crevice below that blocker and inside that post that may be available. Sweden and the Czech Republic in a classification matchup here. It's game 13 of the Para Ice Hockey Tournament in PyeongChang. Officially, it's day 5 of competition. 10 in total in this tournament. That's from the opening day right to the final day. The full stretch, which determine where the medals will end up. Where the teams through 5 and 8 will also finally settle in these Paralympic Games. So Brannick comes across the line though, and he gets partially just dispossessed there. He comes up for Wall. Wall has again a moving Swedish defense in front of him. They just draw up the drawbridge just in time. Just each time the Czechs just thinking they're going to cross and make some work or make some possibility for themselves. Engage Sweden's goal. This defense just closes down those ideas. Whether they're forcing shots wide, whether they're blocking them. Just getting a partial touch. They have done what has been required. That man, Ingersson, has been explosive in this game. You wonder sometimes, you look at his tally, he hadn't had a point yet in the tournament. He's got 2 goals here today. Whether or not these players just load up and wait for their one chance to shine that they think is going to be the most important time. And this is a good time, Lucille, to come up with the goods. And in true Kenny Rogers form, it's the Czechs who have to become the gambler. Try to, in fact, just change the tune here. Maybe a shot from there. Nilsson gets touched with the glove on that shot. Didn't catch it though, he's left it. That's maybe a little bit of a problem here. As the Czechs again, that one goes up and over. Here they come. They've just decided to push the pedal down. Dolashal, the feed in, broken up. And a flurry of activity. Really from a whole lot of warning there. It just went up a level. The Czechs are just looking to fine-tune that approach. This game is by no stretch of the imagination done. The Czechs can come and score a goal and just turn this game totally on its head. Sweden are not interested in that exciting drama. Herbeck goes up over the right corner. You do not see Herbeck come forward a lot. That's an indication that they are bringing everything right now, activating anything that's available to them in their weaponry. They're going and picking up even an old dud shotgun that maybe has a possibility of a bullet left in it. Good flicker there, in fairness. And the save just kept things alive as Kubish gets the initial shot off, and then it just starts a series of three shots attempts on goal. As now the Czechs are up to 11 shots. And you see the face-off percentage, they're both around 50. So it's very marginal, any difference in it, but it could in fact be that just the one key face-off at the right time could either put this game firmly in the hands of Sweden and allow them to drive it potentially home, or is it game on as it opens things up to the second Czech goal. Benga sees that safely passed. To get out of there. He's got a straitjacket on from Kasperi and just got him tied up there. Need to be careful at the penalty. That's exactly what it is. As the Czechs have just overcooked it there. And just held on to the Swedes as they're trying to break out. Herbeck looks up. Says, oh boy, someone's got to go sit down. It's holding the opponent. And it's going to be 24 for the Czechs, Zdeněk Šafranek. And that is, he gets a piece of Kasperi. Too much of a piece is the issue. You're only supposed to take a slice, and he took half of the pie. 1 minute and 37 seconds remain in this second period. And a power play now for Sweden. And they could put a bolt right into the proverbial coffin of the Czech Republic in this matchup. They both will live to fight another day beyond this match. But what fight will it be is the question in store, as it's Ingersson who's back to get it. side looking particularly convincing with possession of the puck. They're just as deliberate as you might play a game of chess right now. Nobody is looking to show their hand, as that is set long and strong all the way down. That's all right, they're on the kill. A little bit of pressure as the forecheck comes in. Under 30 now in this second period. Power play is still available to Sweden. Hasn't necessarily been a whole lot to their advantage as yet. But maybe the most important part is that means they can manage the clock in the most as this comes back. Good to see it back out on the ice. It is Zdeněk back in duty. Seconds count down. Is there a forecheck? Is there a penalty here late? A little bit of drama. There's not going to be. It's going to just expire the second period of play as the Gangneung Hockey Centre sees another goal in the second period. It belongs to Sweden, and it is the man right there, Nicholas Ingvarsson, who has got the surgeon's touch inside of the right corner. Is oh so fine. He gets it across the line of the Czech Republic goal. And for a moment, they will go and reload and recalibrate, as it is Sweden with a 3-1 advantage after 30 minutes of play. 2 periods are in the bank in this classification matchup. Game 13 overall in the para ice hockey competition. There you see the shots so far. Pretty balanced. Maybe Sweden, not so many in that second period, did they? As the Czechs with 5 in the first and a further 6 in the second. They are killing a penalty, though, to start this next period of play, the third period. For 23 seconds are the Czechs, but they've got 1 power play goal, and you see the face-offs are pretty comparable there. But what they've got is they've got a 6-gun shooter, and he's arrived at just the right time, and Nicholas Ingvarsson, the old steady hand, has got 2 goals, a breakaway one, and then a shot from the top right here of the circle. And Vapenka, you can see the expression says it all. He says, what in the defense did we not have in front of me? Because that shot was just too good. And I'm not sure whether or not he thought he had a control of it there, Vapenka, or whether it was just beyond, obviously it was just beyond his grasp, but he attempted it. I think in fairness, his position, it would have been too tough. But this one here from Geyer, he just throws it in with the idea of just creating a question of possibility, a scramble. Nilsson gets knocked down. And these 2 shots that were taken, the 2 basically breakaways, they were right-hand dominant plays. The angle had them leaning to their right hand. They never were able to get Nilsson to even bite on the possibility of them coming back to the left hand. And he just took them both away, but they were extraordinary possibilities for the Czechs as he made the saves. Kubic, that's a good save too, and that started a series of shots where it just rotated through and it looked like maybe the Czechs were going to find a way. And then Herbeck, the old battleship, comes out and around from the corner and comes up with a shot, but it's just a little too high and hard. The hard's okay, the high, well, that's going to leave you a little bit short if you're looking to get a return from it. And it's the Czechs who return to the ice first in the Gangneung Hockey Centre.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the ice team Czech Republic and Team Sweden.
So they have that 23 seconds. It belongs to their number 24, their captain, Zdeněk Šafranek. So he's in the box, and Sweden to start with the power play. There's a chance for Jiri Priisa just to re-coordinate his troops and make sure they entirely understand what's expected and how they want to execute here. That's a good one, in fairness, making sure that the team is fortified and strong and cheering themselves on, really, in essence there, the way the Czechs leave that coaching formation. As you see, Erik Bäckström just getting himself just settled and adjusted. See how quickly when they've scored goals, he's been quickly in, confirming with his team jobs they need to do now that they've taken advantage of the chances that they have had in this hockey game. The defensive jobs, the little things they need to be mindful of that reflect when they're playing well.
정확판을 잘 바라봐 주시고요. 정확하게 3초 뒤에 시작하겠습니다. 여러분, 박수와 함성 준비.
We're getting ready for the third period, and it's loud in here. As here comes the party. Habo up against Gilston. And it will be taken by Sweden, but they're in behind their own goal line in the seconds. Well, they're dying out on this particular power play. They're going to need to really come up with something here, and they end up setting it for an icing. That's frustrating. The idea just to advance it quickly is a good one. However, it just was not accurate enough. Trying to get it cleared against Intermission, who just slashes it against the sideboards. Be more out of frustration. You're seeing the good work coming in from PyeongChang, who has got now a goal and an assist in this tournament, to his credit, a total of 2 points. And he was partially what looked to be, well, he was upended, whether he had lost his breath there with that heavy collision in that second period. I think that was as much as anything. Rather than being injured, I think he was just stunned and needed a chance just to get a little bit of air back in the tanks. It is now down low. It's Sweden with the bit of control. It's played on for Bank. Bank's trying to come around the backside here. Domashal is the first one to it. He just kind of left it in a position for Gilston to come forward. You see him getting locked up, but maybe a little frustrated with the check there. And into an area here, skating well, is Havel. His defense right now. Just keeping a watchful eye. That one comes over the shoulder of Intermission for Geyer. And this is much better from the Czechs. They've opened up some room here. Intermission just desperately trying to just swat that away from Geyer's control. Much better. This is building up. And a chance here for Havel. He's going to have to go to his left hand to get a shot off. I'm not sure if he made a pass there or was it broken up by the Swedes. Force it away. It looks like they're slowly building towards something here, the Czechs. Or is it just a moment? Celebration here for a second. Flip. Where they push on, but really Sweden has got the measure of them. It's come out. Sweden are on a 2-on-1. There's a late change here for the Czechs. Kasperi, he's got an option to the inside. There it is. It's Mang, and Mang can't control it. Mang's probably going to get penalized here. He is, as he goes into Vapenko. And it's goalkeeper interference as Kubic just lays it on. And Sweden touch it. And it's going to be exactly that. Interference called. And across to the players' bench, or the penalty box, rather. It's Mang going in, so he goes from a fantastic position of being able to come and have a shot at goal, and then now he's been penalized. As Mang just loses the handle there, and unfortunately loses his line and leads to the interference call. So on the power play, Czech Republic looking now to just find a little bit of daylight, an angle maybe. A better look in on goal for a shot, which they need desperately in order to just get themselves within one shot. It all starts with the next goal here. And this is as good a time as any. They are going to miscue it here, and it's played now down the length of the ice. This problem here, the Czechs. There's some good passing, but it's that quickness of movement they really need to get it up the ice, and that's a misaligned pass, and it will go for icing against. Those are always challenges when you're trying to advance it with speed, is that equally the defense is aware of that and they apply pressure, and you end up trying to be a little too perfect. And in doing so, it's led to a defensive zone face-off here for the Czech Republic. Herbeck is out there. Perfect. He's now got the stylish beard braid. But he's still kept growth. Can he, however, be involved in a power play pack of 5 for Czech Republic as they're inside of a minute by 20 seconds now of this power play. They haven't done much with it. Oh, it's going to be a penalty, though. They've been able to draw a penalty against Intermission. It's going to be teeing as Krupicka right now is getting knocked around like he's a pinball. As he looks to be okay, he's back upright. But Sweden are giving him the gears. As right into him here. Up and over. Ingerson arrives just in time, well, to deliver the physical play, but maybe not in time to compete for the puck. In fairness, I think he sees that Krupicka is playing a pretty good game today for the Czechs, and if there was a chance maybe to impress upon him that it wasn't going to be easy, that was what he was trying to do there. There's a chance, a shot at Nilsson. That's a golden opportunity. And the Czechs have squeezed the Swedes there. They've kept the puck in. This is important here for Doloshaw. For Habel, they've got to come forward. 5 against 3. They've got to take advantage. They go off the pipe, and that's out. As they are ringing the chimes on this power play. Final look here on this. Oh, it's a beauty this time from Habel. Lights out, mama. It's time for Ben. As that one with a howitzer, a right hand, inside of 2 seconds remaining on a 2-player power play. Woo, Nilsson says, you just blew my doors off. As that's entirely what happened there. Habel cooks one with all sorts of punch here. Oh, he gets that gone. Yuri Briza loves it. 5 against 3. It looked like it was coming. Zdeněk Habel from Kubiš and Geyer. So that on the power play, that changes things entirely. Here they come again. Now it's Kubiš, and it will be a glove save from Nilsson. And now the plot thickens with 10:02 remaining, and they still have the power play. So the key to that is they scored with just 2 seconds remaining on the 5-on-3 advantage, which means that penalty now expires by right of the goal. They still have the full benefit of the other one. 1:17 now available on it as Kasperi will send it all the way down the ice after winning that draw. From here, it's a navigation now for the Czechs, the halfway point, but they've got speed, they've got a little bit of area here. Habel again lays it on, it's just too advancing, no, to get it to Geyer. Geyer will come back, he knocks his man off, he's lucky there, Geyer. Oh, they both exchange, they're both lucky not to have penalized. Geyer for shoving the man without the puck, and then they're both giving each other as good as they got, and now the referee knows that he's got to give it a little bit of latitude here. But these guys are locking up now with each other in a way that might not be to their advantage, but the smiles there coming out. This is the play again. Habel with the hammer into the back of the Swedish rack. home with a key face-off here. And this will be sent out, and this will break down this power play advantage for the Czechs in the most now. As there's 30 seconds remaining, they got a forecheck coming here from Kasperi that's just relentless in itself. Oh, he's got a sled right up. Fortunate enough to penalize. I think there's been a few situations here. How about this though? Roll, backside. Is this the man? Oh, what a save by Nilsson. As Skrbinska comes in again. He's looking for that same angle that he just had against Nilsson back in the first period, and not this time. He's staying with, he's having quite a hockey game. He's involved in everything. He's involved in the collisions, the shots, the penalties, the action in front of goal. He's an all-action man. And you would doubt him scoring a second goal, which would help his side level it, but that's if they can continue to play good defense too against this Swedish side. Seconds are just going to squeeze through the hourglass, and now it is gone. That power play for the Czechs, but they did convert one goal on it. They'll take that. It just a little feed down, the offload. More possibility here. It doesn't get across the front of goal. I think a shot might have been the better option in that situation. They weren't trying to be too fine, but they were, in fact, just looking for too good an opportunity is really what was happening. They were in a good enough position there to shoot. Can't overlook opportunity or it often dries up. The old expression, never look a gift horse in the mouth, and they were in a good position there. Just to shoot. It's knocked down. It's going to be a high sticking. And it's not a big deal. It'll just be a face-off as it's just elevated above Hedberg as he knocked it down with his right stick. It's been a busy man today. As Luka, the Norwegian, calling penalties. What he's done here is impressive in fairness in the third period. The way he's just communicated to the players, just when they've been raising the heat a little bit, just to keep it in check, as both teams will have a chance to reconfirm with the respective benches.
이번 대회를 도와주시는 자원봉사자분들께도 감사의 박수 부탁드립니다.
This the shot, and they did get a shot off, but I think the idea was to pass it. You saw it, Nilsson. I think they could have really just rifled it short side, but maybe that's not in the arsenal in that play. They're just looking for that soft feed in. Nilsson knew it though. He's got great instincts for that in the Swedish goal. Down to halfway gone in this third period. The question is it the remaining period in this game, or will we need to go to a period of overtime? As this is sent in, it's not icing. They are going to be doing battle throughout these remaining just north of 7 minutes of play in this third period. For sure, as now Pallet. It's back, and it's a little pedestrian at the moment from Sweden, but it's effective. They're out of their own zone. Now they advance it on, and throwing on the brakes. Abel, who's the goal scorer, the latest one. It was the goal at 34-47, power play goal. And Geyer. First and second assists respectively, now moving the zone. And the swipe of it check is back. He's just going to provide a passing option for another level of support. And tries to advance it, but it's not quite accurate enough. So now with 6:06, both of these sides just doing their best to empty the tanks. You feel like there's another goal from the Czechs, very possibly coming. But Sweden have surprised us in this game. They've scored goals. Those first two pretty broken plays that they had created for themselves. And the next thing you know, it's right in. There's Geyer, and he's got a rocket launcher of a shot. He sends that from just over the halfway to the red line. And it goes off the end glass, smashing in the Swedish zone. For Habel, a shot, and that would have been a great one on, because I don't think Nilsson really saw much of it. There's a screen in front. The idea is good. You're starting to see it now, and it has to be that way. They've got to take a chance and push. You wonder whether or not they'll pull Vapenka around the 2.5 minute mark if they haven't been able to find a way between now and then. They are, in fairness, having most of the traffic. They've got a 16-6 shot advantage in this game. They come around there, Nilsson makes that save. So they feel pretty confident with the puck. That'll present a few options for the Czechs as they look to engage this remaining passage. It's rather a little bit of a break, but now it's Habel who comes around. And that could easily go anywhere. And it could just as well go in the back. Oh, it could have for sure, the way the angle was there on Nilsson. He did well to make that save and to have clean control of it. And I'm pretty sure from Erik Wikström from the Swedish bench, he saw 3 fingers coming up, talking about the 3 crowns on their jersey. He'd have been talking probably about having 3 players in front of their own goal at all times. Allow 2 to pursue the puck, that's fine. But 3 have got to be in the house, making sure that if any unwelcome intruders come to the door, that they will not be permitted in. It's taken by the Czechs, a shot, Nilsson takes it into the chest area. Most importantly, he wraps it up quickly, smothers that puck, and allows his side to reorganize. Kumish, he's had a couple cookers. Got him off there, that right-handed sweeping motion. Set him low and hard, about that height twice. And it's had more pace on it maybe than some of the other shots that we've seen, but they've been right into the logo. A focus set here from Sweden as they need to be smart with this loose puck. They have done exactly that. And it just gets beyond. Vapenka's still in, which you would expect at this stage. Remember, we haven't seen a lot of shots from Sweden in a while. They only had 1 in that second period. And just looking through whether or not they've had 1 in this third at all. They have not yet. They had 5 in the first, 1 in the second, and they have nothing to show offensively in this short period of play yet. And this now, again, it's just a weighted clearance of the puck. And that might get waved off, or is it going to go for anything? It does get waved off. And that's one of those real hockey savvy plays. Not particularly sexy or exciting, but it's effective. As they've just weighted that puck, allowed now themselves to reorganize, make the checks, make line changes. They can easily have been called for too many players on the ice there. They need to be careful about that. A couple of times they've just lurked around in the muddy waters of the neutral zone. And they have waited for the Czechs to come forward. And that's where they've pounced. Like crocodiles. They come right out of the swamp and taken 2 breakaways from it. And have capitalized on both of them. That really put the identity on this hockey game in that first period. This man right here on the puck for Pichka. But he brought it within 1. Then another goal from Ingerson. Put us in this position we are. Oh, for Pichka, the backside. Inside of 3 minutes now. They get wrapped up, New Sweden. They tie up their own shoelaces. Like they're doing the 3-legged race in the old potato sacks. There's now Rawl. Oh, goes into the body again. Gilston is just a massive frame out there. He takes up space. That's all men are crazy in front of the Czech bench. They got away with it again to make that substitution and not have been penalized. That's the nature of para ice hockey. There's more latitude than there is in ice hockey with that because obviously the athletes can't go over the boards. So they have to wait for each other to exit and enter from the respective bench openings. And from this is a long ways. Havel, the latest goal scorer for the Czechs. He gets upended. Can he in fact turn it around and help his side get moving forward? Papenka's still in. Here's Geyer. Geyer's come from nowhere. He's got a chance. He goes off the bar again. And now, can the Czechs go one louder? They have rung. Oh, they score from nowhere. You wouldn't have expected it from there, but it doesn't matter now. It's in Sweden's goal and Czech Republic's. Oh, they've scored a third one. Wow, that had eyes. Found its way through traffic. And where did it come from? What a beauty from Dolashal. He's had a couple of different looks, says Dolashal, and both times looked, well, he got closed down late, but not this time. How about them apples? You like apples? How about them? Says Yuri Briza. And how about this now? As the timeout for a full minute. As the teams will just sort themselves out. So that's a great call in the end. Briza doesn't push it by taking out Papenka. And just stays the course, 5-on-5. Trust that his personality is going to, or his team, his personnel rather, are going to be able to come up with it and find something. I don't know if he expects that goal though. It was pretty spectacular from Dolashal, who scores a beauty. It's his first goal of the tournament, so it's not as though he's giving you a whole lot of history to take confidence from. But that was, it was deserving. It was a good play. It was strong and it was through. They'd gone off the crossbar a couple of times and created a little bit of chaos inside that Swedish defensive zone. So that's offside, and Michael Geyer gets an assist on the play. And now the plot thickens. As we need a result from this game, it's all about the result for where they're going to play. So it's not about setting the table. It's just about whoever wins this competes in the 5th-6th game. And that's what's at stake here. As coming back for it, the Czechs look to try and come through the middle of the ice. Sweden, again, just marshal their own defensive third. It has been really the Czech Republic coming forward. 19 shots to 6 in the game thus far. How efficient has Sweden been? 6 shots, 3 goals. Here they are. Have they got Mang? Mang, he gets one off. It's into the corner. I think Papenka thought it went off, but it was blocked actually by the defense. It didn't get through. So Sweden needs to just get themselves re-tagged up here because they were offside. And now, this is good movement. They create fear in the heart, don't they? When the Czechs come forward, when they've got strength in numbers. From here, Geyer, he can shoot and score from that position. It's thwarted though by Sweden. Nilsson makes this save as again, the Czechs are looking to try and capitalize with 2 successive goals here. With 18.1 remaining, Yuri Briza, he's excited. That's a nervous excitement that he has. He looks on. They'd love a little bit of drama late in the Gangneung Hockey Centre with a equalizing and go-ahead goal. It's a scrap as they are looking for the leftovers of what's available here. It's going to just get away though, and it's going to bring about an overtime period now coming up, and it finishes at full time. 3 goals for Sweden and 3 goals as well for the Czech Republic. And how about that late goal? Officially at 43:25, Pavel Dolashov from Mikael Geyer and Pavel Kubish. So these players you expect to get involved, maybe not Dolashov so much, but he has had a couple looks, and they take full advantage to the Czechs there. No more than they deserved, in fairness. They have been the busier of the 2 sides offensively. It's level after full time. An overtime period awaits as we need to have a victor in this match to determine who goes into the 5th, 6th place classification game in 2 days' time.
자, 지금부터 파도 타기를 시작할 건데요. 여러분, 아직 경기가 끝나지 않았습니다. 자, 저희가 있는 쪽이 여기인데 이쪽에서 이쪽으로, 다시 이쪽에서 이쪽으로 파도 타기를 시작하겠습니다. 파도 타기 준비 시작!
What a goal, a late one from Dolashov. It goes through. I don't think Nilsson sees it. That's entirely what happened there. Too many bodies in front. He doesn't respond until he sees it in the back of the net. And Yuri Briza, well, he does the jump of joy as he enjoys it with his Czech bench. And the teams respectively are getting themselves organized for an overtime period. 9 shots on goal in that 3rd period from the Czechs. They get 1 from 2, a power play goal. Overall, they have had 20 shots in the game. But that conversion rate of 50% scoring rate for Sweden has been incredible. They have had control of this game. They have never not had the lead or have never been behind. They've been equalized, but they've always really been able to reassert themselves. And now Papenka. It's a 10-minute overtime period. It'll be 4-on-4. And if we don't have a result, we will in fact go to game-winning shots as well. It is underway. Czech Republic and Sweden in the classification matchup here. This is to guarantee that you're competing for a place of either 5th as the highest either of these sides can attain now. The most important part is that you stay away from the slippery slope of that classification matchup and relegation. Both of these nations do not want to be there, as this will be Sweden coming forward. Smart little play there, isn't it? As it's shot in behind the Czech Republic goal. Kubik has it just get away from him temporarily. And then a hit in. The two sleds collide. Kasperi around now for Intermission. He gets hit as it's becoming more physical and a little bit unusual that with 4-on-4 play, but both teams trying to impress upon each other that they're not going to give any quarter. No mercy. It's the Marcus of Queensberry rules, which basically means last man standing. And they'll take the first man out, but it's a second support wave from Sweden. Have they, with Herbeck, been able to break this up though, the Czechs? Intermission again responding likewise. Now it's a race. Is it going to just get long? It is. It's going to be an icing call against. And Kasperi, who has a goal already in this game, an even strength marker at 7-10. Has to stay on. He'll compete for this face-off in his own zone. Openka, he's done his job. He'll be feeling much better about things now. Those first two goals will have not been to his liking. They never are for a goalkeeper. No matter whether they feel they're deserved or not. I'm sure the third one has got under skin as well. The way it was taken by Intermission. The shot was so fine though. But here, again, look at this from Sweden in the nick of time. Have they created enough congestion though? And it looked like for a second it was too complicated in front and that the puck was maybe going to be dragged in as Nilsson comes across. The idea was to get it to Geyer. Geyer wants to get into a race. He likes that full Top Gun action, up and down. Sometimes you call it a track meet where you get into just a race of speed up and down the ice. And that, I think, favors more the Czechs than it does Sweden, as Nilsson just plays it down low. But Kasperi is smart. They are measured. They're thoughtful. Out front here, and look at that chance from Hedberg. He had more time than he realized. And maybe he didn't entirely realize that, as he just took a one-time effort at that, and it was okay, but it wasn't quite good enough. As now the Czechs come forward. Havel electing to just play it in. That's a perfect touch. Krapicka, the right idea. Just needed to be a little bit tighter. Kept by Herbeck. Down low to Rahl. Out front, the idea will be linked onto it the other side though. It's Krapicka right now. He is the table setter. He set the pace. He has been leading by example for the Czech Republic in this match. Herbeck comes back. It's a little bit slippery to start trying to get this puck, and now it's against the boards, and they lay it out for Rahl. Rahl will skate, comes through. He's got two defenders in front of him, now a third to come back. That's a good shot, and maybe if that's on, this game is over. But it didn't happen, so play continues. Kasperi, this has been a mega shift for him. Been out here for at least a couple minutes. You see that from some of these players. The top players are playing in that region. Let's look at the average shift, as here comes Kasperi from the outside. His average shift in this game is 1 minute 32 seconds. But here in overtime, well, you're going to go as deep as you need to. If in fact you think it's going to be of a benefit to your team. Herbeck, very measured here. He knows while he's got it, Sweden can't score, so let's just wait to get across the line. You prefer to play a possession game. dump and chase game, particularly in overtime. It makes more sense. As Kapichin comes back, and he's just going to duck out for a moment. He'll be back in a second. That's confusing as it creates a situation here. This is a problem, and they're lucky there, are the Czechs. You saw what was going on in front of their own bench, and some latitude, again, being afforded. It's an offside play, but couldn't have been too many players as Kapichin just oddly just disappears there and leaves the puck right there, and that's not a fundamental hockey play. You need to make sure if you're the last one to have the puck, you've got to make a positive play with it, or at least give it to a teammate if you're going to make a line change rather than dropping it off. But Sweden have broken it up. Bringerson, the idea to get it through is broken as well. Into the bench, and coming out is the aforementioned number 96, Zdeněk Kapichin. Got Geyer out there with him. Dolashal, the goal scorer that's put us in this position in an overtime period, as we are quickly moving through it. And this for Geyer. He'll link on to the end of it. It's onside. It's Kubec that he's trying to get to. The idea, it's good, but the disconnect comes from the good Swedish defense. Cross and taking out Nilsson. Would have been offside. You see the referee's arm go up. Now, across this is a bumpy ride right now for both of these sides. They're just kind of in water that they don't necessarily want to charter too deeply. They're kind of just hovering around. Nobody wants to take a chance that's going to lead to their ultimate demise. It's one of those things you almost, if you don't feel you've got it in you to go and score, you do prefer to go to a game-winning shot scenario. Those odds are 50-50, all depending on just how sharp your offensive shooters are. Dolashal, he's been there before. He goes high and hard, up and over. Linking on to Kasperi, he's going to have an oxygen tank on the back of that sled as he just lobs a real muted effort in. He wants to get off, but he can't. You see, he's just absolutely exhausted. And they're fortunate, are the Swedes, that has been played down the length of the ice for an icing now, as they can get off. Home will just go and collect his thoughts in front of his bench as well. It's a chance here.
Team timeout called by Team Sweden.
And Sweden are going to use a timeout call here. That's important, as with the remaining time with the offensive zone faceoff, and entirely as well, they're trying to keep Kasperi out on the ice, and this is a little bit of a break rather than having him sit on the bench during live play. Dolashal. Oh, he's about 4 inches over that crossbar there. Let's have a little look at it. Yeah, that's about it. I think if it's accurate, it's in. As I don't think he's able to get the glove to it there, Nilsson, on that one. It was to the blocker side, and he's using the blocker hand to support himself in the sled to be able to use the glove hand to potentially make the save. So you end up playing the odds, the angles, the percentages as a goalkeeper in para ice hockey more than most. It's the Czechs who take the draw. Geyer is the intended recipient. Is it too heavy? Is he going to get there? Because of his speed, they've been able to wave this off. He's just for a second lost it, but he's come back up with it again. This is treasure for the Czechs. Right there for Kubec. Oh, he goes through the goal crease. It looked harder to miss than it was to score. And that, you hope for the Czechs, and they hope for themselves, that is not defining as the moment that could have been. It's when once you get into a shootout, anything goes. This Krupicka, Sweden will skate forward with some speed, some purpose. We haven't seen a lot of that. Oh, turned it over. And that's trying to be a little cute, but they get around it. They've got a backside option. Good eyes to see that, to know that. Layoff. Anyone can shoot this puck. Spin, the turn, little shot. Down low. And that's a hopeful centralized pass that can't in fact be connected. Officially now remains in this overtime period. Is there a flicker of something offensively from Sweden? Look at Penka, he makes that save very comfortably across the body in front of him. And that, I believe, is the first shot that we have seen from Sweden in over a period. Kubish right there, and I thought, oh, I think Nilsson gets a touch of that with a stick. It may have looked impossible, but I think he did just enough to direct that puck away from the open goal. A rotation. As Gilson comes out, Intermission, as we see often, sometimes the defender will come up and take this draw. It's the Czech Republic that come up with it, though. Cross, they'll come with some speed. Sweden tracking back, still holding it. Look at Kubish here. He's got it, he'll the offload here for Dolashov. Two Czechs in front, and he can't find either of them. As they were a little too early. They were first ones at the party, and the music hadn't started yet. That's kind of a crazy bounce in and around. Hard into the end boards. This looks like, it feels like, there's going to be game-winning shots coming. Intermission plays it down. And this is the final second, ticking off the clock. We've done a full 45, an additional 10, and now it's the winning shot shootout, as it's officially now named. And it makes sense because it's always been called the penalty shot shootout. Well, there's no penalties involved here. What we're trying to determine is a victor in this game, and we haven't been able to determine it over 55 minutes, and we're going to have to determine it in the shots now coming up. It's overtime is complete. It's now game-winning shots coming up in the para ice hockey from the Gangneung Hockey Centre. Everybody in anticipation of just how this is going to play out. And there you look at the Japanese coach keeping a watchful eye on proceedings as well. A celebration of sport, Paralympic sport. It has been so far in day 5 of the PyeongChang 2018 Paralympic Winter Games. You saw the shots across the periods of play so far. Penka now with his duty. So no shots from Sweden in that third period, but they get 2 in overtime and 4 in overtime for the Czech Republic. Nothing able to breach Nilsson, and we'd love to see a different angle of that save he makes there on Kubish. As the coaching staff chat with their players, and we'll have given them an idea of who it is that's going to be coming up and when they will be. Breeza having a very calm discussion as they shave the ice, no water to resurface, just shaving off the snow and the friction. As you see the opportunities. You look back over the game so far, 24 total shots for the Czechs and 8 for Sweden. They had 6 minutes and 31 seconds in the power play, the Czech Republic. 6 minutes for Sweden in the game. 2 power play goals for the Czech Republic. As this, the total reflection. The Swedes a little bit better on the face-offs. They took another 2 minutes more, 10 minutes total, as opposed to the 8 for the Czechs. No shorthanded goals in this one. The save percentage for Vapenka, 62.5 in the game, and for Nilsson, 87.5 has been his actual save percentage in this contest. The resurfacing machine, in this case, the ice shaving machine, you would say, is now left the building. And both of these teams will have communicated their shot selection as to who will shoot and in what sequence, as that's all that awaits now to determine a result in this classification match. Nilsson looks cool as a cucumber. Will he be looking that way at the end of these shots coming up? So Nilsson will go in first. And out, it's going to be Mikael Geyer, who will take his shots. 3 shots apiece. If we're level after 3, we'll go for more, but just 1 shot aside, alternating. Geyer waiting for Nilsson to be ready. The whistle's been blown, and here he comes. Through the logo, straight down. He's right to left, and he's right predominantly left upstairs, and it's a hammer. Oh, it's quick. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Watch it fly off Michael Geyer's hockey stick. Look at that. Bingo. It's number 74 who's put the Czechs on the board first. Kasperi for Sweden. He scored a goal in this game already, as he got a second one just to level proceedings. No, he does not. Vapenka has seen that show before. He was not interested in the sequel. And he just turns the channel on Kasperi. He gives a little bit of a hitch there, does Kasperi. Changes the angle. Right there. Boom. A little bit of snow comes up. As here is the man, Zdeněk Krpička. He has scored as well in this game, as he got a second for his troubles. Oh, he does. He's as nifty as you'd want to be, as he threads the eye of a needle there. Oh, he's celebrating again with a full frontal. Might have been a little bit of a half pike in there. As he's right to left to right, back to the left, and tuck it right into the rack, Jack. So this here, it's got to go in for Sweden, or it's game, set, and match. The 2 goals from the Czechs looming large. Bergelston to come in. He has scored in the tournament, but not today. Oh, what a beauty! He comes in, and he just does the sword right back into the holster for all that are watching. Oh, that was as smooth and as silky as you need it. Oh, boy. Like velvet. And now, Habel, who scored the equalizer, or the second one rather, as he got another. Not this time, and the drama continues, as Sweden will have one last crack to level this game-winning shootout at 2. Nilsson, in a game of poker, he just called his bluff. Last shot, Ingersson's got 2, as he got a hat trick of goals in this game to keep things alive. He's on the left hand. Will he move it right, left? Holy, he does! He goes left high. as that southpaw delivery from him today has been sensational. He has held that, and he knew exactly where he wanted to go. He put it into his pocket, and then he pulls out the ace card. So, we'll go one shot apiece, back and forth. The referee communicating that to the benches right now. And I believe it's going to be Sweden that shoots next. They changed the rotation here. Shot 4. And it is Sweden that comes out. And they will reverse flow as Ingvarsson's gonna come back. And he's gonna shoot again. Is he still hot, or has he smoked himself out with that last one? Right down the channel. Left, 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 and he's overcooked it. So, it's now for the Czechs to see just what they've got left in their tank. Mikkel Geyer, he scored the opening goal of this game-winning shot sequence. Does he have the game-winning goal? Here is Geyer. Down the middle. Right hand, left, right. Oh, he does! And Mikkel Geyer has shown the Czechs what he's made of in the moment that counts. Oh, what a sweet, sweet move. Right on top. It's a cherry for the Czechs as they will win this one 4-3 in game-winning shots that'll put them through to the 5th, 6th place classification matchup. And Nilsson, I think he feels pretty decent about how he performed in the match today. He was the busier of the two keepers, and he made the saves as well in the game-winning shot scenario. Ultimately, he couldn't make the last one as the Swedes come out and console him. And there really isn't a whole lot to say in a situation like that as the Czech faithful all smiles in applause of their team and the way they performed, and they kept it together. They found a way deep into this game at the Gangneung Hockey Centre, and they will take the spoils.
Big round of applause for their outstanding effort throughout the game.
결정적인 경기를 펼친 양 팀을 향해 뜨거운 박수 보내주시길 바랍니다.
After a penalty shot shootout, it's a victory 4-3 in the 5th to 8th place classification game. The Czechs will go through and contest for 5th, and Sweden in a slippery position now are playing for a best position of 7th from these PyeongChang Paralympic Winter Games in the para ice hockey. Great scenes, well competed for the opportunity and the passport through to the respective classification matches. Good smile there from Nilsson as Friese expresses equally his concern and compassion. And there is that in abundance in Paralympic sport. He's got that celebration down to a T, hasn't he, from PyeongChang? As the Czechs will leave the ice. They have done their business. And Sweden, they both have more to come from PyeongChang.
attending the next hockey season, please exit the venue at this time and then leave the court. The next game, by the way, is completed. Team Norway and Team Japan building in LA.
경기가 진행되었으니 다음 경기 준비를 위해 장애에 계신 관중 여러분께서는 모두 퇴장해 주시기 바랍니다. 다음 경기 관람을 원하시는 관중 여러분께서는 퇴장 후 재입장해 주시기 바랍니다. 이어지는 경기는 노르웨이와 일본의 오후 8시 경기입니다.
And ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please assist us by taking your trash with you.
안전을 위해 운영 인력의 통제에 따라 퇴장해 주시고 개인 쓰레기는 가지고 나가 주시면 감사하겠습니다. 관중 여러분의 양해 부탁드립니다. 가시는 길까지 안전히 돌아가십시오. 고맙습니다.
It's not a medal that they're competing for anymore, the Czechs and the Swedes in the PyeongChang Paralympic Ice Hockey Tournament. But don't tell them that, because it's all about the global stage. And these are two of the best teams in the world in this sport. They went back and forth, the full distance, the full time, and then 10 minutes of overtime. And then we had to go through into game-winning shots. It's the Czechs that find a way to unlock the door on Ulf Nilsson in Sweden's goal. And with that, we'll compete for 5th place in the classification matchup.